Hey, welcome to the stream. I'm about to start reading here. I'm gonna see if we can get a couple of people in here first. How you doing, man? Are you subscribed to the channel, by the way? I can't remember. I think today's the first day that I've seen your name, but I could be wrong. I'm usually pretty good with the names, but you never know. But you've been on 3 of them today, so... I guess we'll see. Sorry, man, I'm a little bit tired. Let's see, you must be new to the channel because I don't recognize the icon or anything. Sorry. Oh, there we go, we got somebody else in here. Who's this? I would not be surprised if it were Crystal. But you never know. Oh, man. So let's see. Sorry, you said you can't hear me? That's unusual. Let me turn down the game volume a little bit. There we go. Can you hear me okay? You should be able to hear me just fine. My microphone is perfectly fine. Everything is normal. You may have to turn your volume up a bit just because everything's a little bit quiet in general, but you shouldn't have any issues overall. Oh, man. Give me just 1 second. Alright. So here, just tell me real quick, is the audio any better? I can't really know unless you give me feedback. I guess I can go ahead and grab my... What is it? My headphones over here. If I can find them. Let's see, where are they? Oh, okay. So you can't turn your volume up? Oh, come on, man. You do know that that's talking about like an extended period of time, right? Like, you'll be fine if you turn it up like that for a little while. And it depends on what you're watching, too. Because your phone basically, like, it doesn't actually calculate how loud it is. It's just based off of how many times you press the button, because it expects it to be a certain level. So, yeah. Hey Nikki, how you doing? And hey Awesome King too. Um, I haven't seen you on here before, Awesome King, but I guess if you did actually want to play with me, you can at some point. You'll just have to add me on PlayStation. But it also depends on how old you are, you know? If you're like 4 years old or something, like I don't want to get in trouble for trying to play Dark Souls and Hitman with you or something, you know? I don't want to hear a parent on the other end being like, "What are you doing playing this game? Who are you talking to on that microphone?" Because I've had that happen before. Not you, Nikki. I know you're not 7. If you are 7, then I'm not the one that looks mature for my age. It would be you. Because you definitely don't look 7. I will say that. You look like a woman. A whammon. Let's see. An Awesome King. You're 14. Yeah, that's not bad, yeah. I don't have any reservations about playing with you on some game on here or something, you know. That's fine. You're not like super young or anything, so it's not a big deal. He is though. I mean, I think you're still technically in squeaker territory, but you're like kind of getting out of it, yeah. um. Anyway, oh gosh, my chats are always so weird. But I think I'm gonna read a book to you guys tonight, at least a chapter or two. I haven't actually read this one, but I'm a big fan of the series, and it's actually a book series sort of loosely based around the world of a game series. So I think as a lot of us are gamers, I think it could be pretty enjoyable. The game series in question would be Splinter Cell. Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell. So I'm going to be reading Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell, Operation Barracuda. These books are kind of like they're kind of a guilty pleasure thing for me, so. Yeah, they're pretty good. I read the first one, and I've read Checkmate. So I've read 2 of them, and I own the whole series, and I've played like almost all the games. So I have all the good ones that are worth buying. I'll say that. I actually have most of the Tom Clancy games, and quite a few of his books as well. Alright, so I'll go ahead and start whenever you guys are ready. Just give me the word. If not, we'll just chat for a bit. Just whatever you guys want to do. How are the games, Nathaniel? You said? The games are actually really good. The Splinter Cell games are great. I don't really support Conviction or Blacklist, though. Blacklist more so than Conviction, just because they tried to sort of fix it somewhat. But the fact that they changed the voice actor and all that for Blacklist kind of ticks me off, so. Whatever. You said you're gonna be in and out of the stream, having a tough time right now. Oh, that's okay, Nikki. Again, feel free to message me if you need me. I'll be here, and I'm very much available to help, or even just to listen. So yeah, just hit me up if you need someone. And hey, Crystal, how you doing? Good to see you. Let's see. So how long is chapter 1? Chapter 1 is actually not very long. It's, I guess, 13 pages. More like 11 pages, really. Unfortunately, oh, Crystal, the book is Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell, Operation Barracuda. So I figured it'd be a fun book to read. We're not gonna be able to get through the whole thing. We're just gonna do like a chapter or two for tonight. I'm just taking a sip of my tea. I have orange spice tea. It's pretty good. Have I read Lord of the Flies or watched the movie? No, I have not. Man, that orange spice tea is good. I might have to pour myself another glass of that. Whew. Alright. So I guess I'll just start, if you guys are ready. So we are starting with chapter 1. And if you don't know, this is sort of about like, it's like espionage type stuff. You love streams like this one? Well, that's cool. I appreciate that. Oh, alright. So, chapter 1. The OPSET's mechanical alarm wakes me at 11 o'clock sharp. Since I possess the ability to sleep soundly at the drop of a hat, anywhere, at any time, the OPSET's built-in prodder that nudges the pulse in my wrist comes in very handy. It's silent and it doesn't jolt me awake the way alarm clocks sometimes do. I hear the wind blowing outside the small tent. The weather forecast had warned of a winter storm before midnight, and it appears to just be beginning. Terrific. The sub-zero weather outside my biovac would have, in normal circumstances, turned me into a popsicle hours ago, had it not been for Third Echelon's technological breakthrough in designing the skin-tight, superhero-like uniform that separates my very human body from the harsh elements. Not only does it protect me from extreme heat or cold, but the threads of Kevlar woven into the fabric somewhat serve as a bulletproof material. At long range, the stuff works pretty well. I don't want to have the pleasure of testing its strength at short range. Thank you very much. I crawl out of the tent, stand, and take a moment to survey the dark forest around me. Aside from the howling wind, I can't hear a thing. Lambert had warned me that I might encounter wolves this far into the woods, but I must have lucked out. If I were a wolf, I'd stay in my den and keep the hell out of this kind of weather. There sure won't be any meals wandering around at minus 10 degrees Fahrenheit. None except a two-legged mammal that happens to be heavily armed. I quickly roll up the tent. The unique camouflage makes it appear to be a snow-covered rock when it's erected on the ground. One would have to examine it at close range to recognize it for what it really is. Again, a well-designed piece of equipment, courtesy of the National Security Agency. It's ironic that only a handful of the personnel within the NSA know of the classified department called Third Echelon. I'm such an elite employee of the United States government that you could count on two hands the number of people who can define Splinter Cell. And to tell the truth, I couldn't name all those people. Aside from my immediate supervisor, Colonel Irving Lambert, and the minuscule team working in the unremarkable, unmarked building that stands separate from the main NSA headquarters in Washington, D.C., I have no clue as to what senators or cabinet members have heard of Third Echelon. I'm pretty sure the president knows about us, but even he would Protocol 6 me if I were caught. That means I'd be disavowed. They would wash their hands of me and pretend I never existed. Sorry, I was just reading your comment there, Nathaniel. I appreciate that. That is a lovely comment. Sorry if I took you out of the book there. Let me go back in. Alright. I pack the tent to lower my goggles. The night vision mode works remarkably well on the Ukrainian snowstorm. I may feel as if I'm in a soon... Gosh, dang it, I can't read. Let me take this earplug out of my ear. I may feel as if I'm in a scene from Dr. Zhivago, but at least I'm not going to bump into any trees as I move forward. Abukiv is 5 miles away to the south. I'm somewhere between that small village and Kiev to the north, which is where I began my mission. We spell it Kiev now instead of Kiev. Sorry, it's spelled like it's spelled with K-Y-I-V instead of K-I-E-V, because it's the English translation of the proper Ukrainian name for the city. Same goes for Abukiv, which used to be Abukov. The people made a concerted attempt to change all city names from Russian to Ukrainian since the nation became independent in 1991. I'm pretty sure the Russians will keep spelling them the old way. Moving through a free Ukraine is no problem these days, so I had little trouble picking up my equipment from the American embassy in Kiev and obtaining an SUV to drive to Abukiv. Oh, good lord. What on earth are you talking about, Nikki? You were literally just getting on to me last night for being inappropriate, and now you're... and now you're talking like that. It is funny, but... come on now. At least give me some context. Alright, anyway. Where was I at? Oh, yeah. I laughed when I saw the thing. A 1996 Ford Explorer XL with 120,000 miles on it. But it runs okay. From the village I hiked into the woods earlier today and set up camp here in the cold forest. Third Echelon Intelligence confirmed that the shop's third hangar from their stealth plane, which was destroyed a few months ago in Turkey, is located here in a clearing beyond the woods and is still in use. Satellite photos reveal that vehicles occasionally appear and men continue to go in and out of the structure. I already got rid of one of the 3 hangars, located in Azerbaijan. I don't know how to say that name, I'm sorry, I tried. Near Baku. A special ops military force blew up the one that sat in Belovo, a tiny hamlet south of Moscow. Now I have the job of checking out the 3rd one here to see what they're up to. The shop, a notorious arms-dealing network of Russian criminals, was left in disarray after the business in Cyprus last year. We seriously damaged their organization, but the leaders are still at large. Much of our intelligence indicates the shop picked up and moved headquarters out of Russia and went to the Far East, possibly the Philippines or Hong Kong. That remains to be seen. One of Third Echelon's top priorities over the last several months has been to find the 4 so-called directors of the shop and bring them to justice, or kill them, whichever comes first. what's your question, Nathaniel? And wait. Nikki, are you Lady Serena? Do you just have two accounts? Is that what it is? Because I feel like you'd be the type of girl to make a second account with a name like that. I don't know why. I just get that feeling. That's why yesterday on that other stream I was immediately like, is that Nikki? But I don't know, I could be wrong. But let's just say I've never seen the two of you in the room together at the same time. So make of that what you will. Wait. But wait, Nikki, if you are, then how are you commenting with both accounts? I don't understand. Do you have like two devices open right now? And Nathaniel, I have no idea what you're talking about. I've never heard of that. Unless you're talking about Barnes & Noble or something. Yeah, but how do you switch accounts so fast? Like I don't understand. I mean, at least you picked a character that's pretty good looking. She's one of the best looking girls in Skyrim. So good choice. Anyway, let me get back to my book. But no, I don't get all my books from Barnes & Noble. I do have quite a few from there. But actually my favorite is probably just like local bookstores and stuff. I like just kind of exploring old bookstores, especially the really big, large, maze-like bookstores, where it's just lined from like floor to ceiling with books, and you can hardly even find your way around. Oh, those are the best. Those are really nice. Anyway, I need to focus on this book. All right, a Georgian named Andres Struck, I guess, is the main man. He's number one on the to-do list. The other directors consist of a Russian army general named Prokofiev, I guess. No relation to the composer. I don't think a former GDR prosecutor named Oskar Hezrog and another Russian former KGB by the name of Anton Antipov. Let's see. If I can find any information pertaining to these guys' whereabouts, I'll have accomplished the mission and can go home. I see you're on the move, Sam. It's Colonel Lambert, speaking to me through the implants in my ears. They allow me to talk with the team back in Washington when the reception is good. I answer him by pushing on the one in my throat. I'm approaching the compound now. What's the satellite show? There's no activity. You're clear to infiltrate. I move quietly through the woods, my boots inadvertently making squish sounds in the snow and ice. Can't be helped. I seriously doubt there are any guards this deep in the forest. I'll have to be more careful when I approach the hangar, though, and it appears to be just up ahead, where the trees begin to thin out. Crouching, I scan the field in front of me. A building that once served as an airplane hangar sits at the end of a runway. Whoever piloted the stealth plane had to be pretty adept. There isn't much breathing space at the end before the trees become thick again. A smaller building adjoins the hangar, most likely offices and bunks for the guys working there. An electrified fence and gate surrounds the perimeter, and an unpaved road, now covered by snow, runs through the forest from the facility to the highway leading out of Abu Quf. The no trespassing and keep out signs have apparently done a good job keeping out the curious. Three Taiga snowmobiles sit parked outside the compound. I see a lone guard in front of the door, smoking a cigarette. Damn, if I'm going to deactivate the fence, someone inside is going to know about it. Wait. Someone's coming down the road. I see approaching headlights through the trees and hear the sound of vehicles. You've got company, Sam, Lambert says. Looks like a motorcycle, or maybe a snowmobile, and a car. Came out of nowhere. Yeah, I see him. I quickly move through the brush to the edge of the gate and lie flat in the snow. Most of the time my uniform is black, but since it's custom made for a Russian or Ukrainian winter, this model is completely white and thus blends in well with the natural surroundings. In a moment I'll unzip it, peel it off, and reveal the darker uniform for when I need to lose myself in the shadows. The hum of the electrified fence suddenly ceases. They've turned it off from the inside, and the gate begins to open automatically. Another Taiga snowmobile, driven by a lone rider, sails past me and goes through the open gate. A few seconds later, a black Mercedes follows. I make sure no other vehicles are lagging behind him, and then I roll my body through the gate as it starts to close. I lie still and peer around to make sure I wasn't seen. So far, so good. Now's the time to play chameleon and dispose of my white outer suit. After stuffing the garment into my backpack, I get up and creep closer, staying to the shadows, positioning myself behind a boarded-up water well. I watch the newcomers as they stop their vehicles in front of the small building. The guard I saw earlier goes over to the hangar and unlocks the door. He swings it open and the guy on the snowmobile guides us right inside. After a moment, he walks out and the first guard closes the hangar door, but he doesn't lock it. The Mercedes driver keeps the motor running as four men get out of the car. One of them appears to be a Russian army general. I change the lenses in my Trident goggles, focus on the men, and positively identify one of the officers as General Stefan Prokofiev. One of the other guys looks like Oscar Hazarov, but if it's him, he's grown a silly beard. The third guy I don't recognize. He's smaller than the others and has long, flowing black hair. Looks kind of like Rasputin. The fourth man is another soldier, probably just a bodyguard for the general. I quickly snap some photos with my OpSat and beam them to Washington via satellite uplink with encrypted burst transmission. The door to the main building opens and I see two men standing just beyond the threshold. They wave to the foursome as the men walk inside. Hands are shaken and the door slams shut. The driver gets out of the car and greets the snowmobile rider. Sorry. I'm terrible at finishing like sentences that lead to next pages and stuff like that. They speak in Russian, probably talking about the weather. The guard offers the rider a cigarette and they walk around the building. As soon as they're out of sight, I run toward the hangar, roughly 20 meters, and peek inside the door. Where an airplane once rested, the place is now full of crates, snowmobiles, and a couple of cars. Nothing else of interest. I then reach into the backpack and grab one of my nifty homing beacons the third echelon created for me. It looks like a hockey puck, only smaller. It's magnetized and is activated by a twist at the top. I quickly move back outside to the Mercedes, crouch behind it, and place the device on the underside. There is a soft clink as the magnet meets metal. I push a button on my OpSat to make sure it's receiving the signal. Okay, let's go inside the building now. I try the knob, but it's locked, so I knock and whistle loudly. My Russian isn't great, but it'll do for short, innocuous phrases in case I need to converse with someone. I hear footsteps and the sound of the guard unlocking the door. It swings open and I reach for him. Pull him outside and give him a head bonk he won't forget. The sharp edge of my goggle slices his nose a bit, but he'll live. I drag his unconscious form around to the side of the hangar and hide him behind a generator attached to the building. I then hurry back to the front door, turn off the night vision, and step inside. The corridor is empty, but I can hear angry voices in a room down the hallway. There's a washroom next to it, so I go in there and shut the door. I open a pouch on my leg and remove a microphone with a suction cup attached to it. I lick the cup and stick it on the wall, then adjust my offset to pick up the signal. Through my headset I can now hear what they're saying. The Russian is difficult to pick up, but I can understand some of it. For good measure, I start recording it, just as Carly St. John, their echelon's acting technical director, speaks through the implants. I'll try to give you a rough translation as we go, Sam, she says. Then later we can do the whole thing. Either the General or Herzog is doing most of the talking. He's giving the two men from the building a royal chewing out. It's something about failure to do this and failure to do that, Carly says, and a security breach. They're closing down this facility. One of the men protests and sounds very frightened. Apparently he's about to lose more than his job. And then it says blam blam. The two gunshots startle me. They're followed by the sound of two bodies hitting the floor. I hear the General or Herzog mutter something, and then the four newcomers leave the room. They march down the hall past the washroom and exit the building. The place is dead silent. I open the washroom door and look into the hallway, empty. I quickly move to the killing room, and sure enough, the two men who had greeted the General and his entourage are lying in pools of blood. I snap some photos and then move toward the front door. I gently crack it open and peer inside. The General is barking orders on a radio as four men get inside the Mercedes. The driver has returned with a snowmobile rider POW. You've got more company, Sam, Lambert says. 3 vehicles approaching. Better get out of there now. He's right. I see more headlights coming through the gate at the other side of the compound. Military vehicles, 2 trucks and a tank. I feel my heartbeat increase as the trucks pull in front of the building as the Mercedes takes off. At least 8 armed soldiers, Russian, not Ukrainian, jump out of the vehicles and rush toward the front door, exactly where I'm standing. Well, hell. I turn and run back to the back of the building, past the killing room and into a space where several cots are set up, obviously the living quarters for the men who no longer work here. There's a grill covering a ventilation shaft high on the wall. As I hear the soldiers enter the building and stomp along the corridor, I climb on one of the cots, pull off the grill, and climb inside. But I'm too late. One of the soldiers enters the room and sees my feet disappear into the shaft. He shouts loudly for others to join him. A deafening gunshot blasts part of the wall away behind me. I sneak along the shaft as fast as I can. Luckily, I come to a junction just as the soldier points his pistol inside the shaft to fire at me. The shaft turns upward here, so I can leap above the gunfire and begin to climb to the roof. The soldier doesn't follow me. I'm sure he figures they can catch me when I emerge at the top. The grill on the roof doesn't come off easily. I'm forced to draw my 5.7 and shoot the corners of the damn thing. I holster my gun and then give the grill a good pounding with my gloved fist, and it finally loosens. I pull myself up and out onto the snow-caked roof. The gunfire commences immediately. The round zipping inches over my head. The angle isn't great for the soldiers, so I'm at an advantage as long as I lie low. I reach into another trouser pocket and retrieve an emergency flare. It's not much, but hopefully it will be bright enough to blind the soldiers temporarily. I aim it to the sky and set it off. The flare bursts over the compound, violently brightening the darkness. The gunfire ceases momentarily. I rise and scramble across the roof to the other side near the hangar. It's not a big jump. I leap off the roof and land in the snowbank. I drop, roll, and come up unharmed. But right in front of me is the snowmobile rider. He's halfway in the process of drawing a Makarov when I deliver a Krav Maga axe kick to his chest. This propels him backward and he drops the pistol. I move forward and give him another kick in the groin, which makes him completely docile. I kneel beside him, search his pockets, and find the keys to the snowmobile. Thanks, I say in Russian. I'll return it someday. I rise and run to the hangar, taking just a moment to look back and see what's going on. Some of the soldiers are apparently removing files, documents, maps, and computers from the building, cleaning house. The shop is definitely closing down this facility. The Russian tank, one of the older T-72s, is moving to a position from where it can fire at the place. They're going to demolish the hangar and wipe out all traces of its existence. The rest of the soldiers, of course, are looking for me. The Taiga snowmobile is sitting where the rider left it earlier. I mount it, insert the key, and start her up. The Taiga is a lightweight sports model, just what I need to make a quick getaway. The thing picks up on its two steering skis in one track and bolts out of the hangar. Naturally, the soldiers spot me and shout in surprise. I hunker down and speed past the tank, knocking over a soldier, and head for the gate. Machine gun fire riddles the snow around me. A round smashes into the rear fender over the track, and for a moment I think the snowmobile's been crippled. The vehicle coughs and jerks, but then I manage to regain control. I push the speed up to 60 as I fly out the gate. Behind me, the tank's 125mm smoothbore gun thunders, blasting a hole in the front of the facility. The resounding boom shakes the forest around me, and I can feel the heat of the building going up in flames, more than 100 yards away. This is followed by a series of smaller explosions, most likely detonations, placed within the building by the soldiers. Of course, by then several soldiers are tailing me on the other snowmobiles. I switch my goggles back to night vision and turn off my Taiga's headlights. I immediately turn off the road and head into the thick forest, zigzagging through the trees. At this speed, you'd have to be crazy to try and maneuver past these natural obstacles, but I suppose I am. There's a fine line between a death wish and being a little crazy. I notice the headlights of the tailing snowmobiles turn off the road behind me. Damn, they figured out where I went. Well, let's see if they can keep up with me. I inch up my speed to 75. The trees are whipping past at a dizzying rate. I have to forget about the guys behind me in order to concentrate on steering. The last thing I need is to wind my legs around a tree trunk. Gunfire. I feel the heat of the bullets slicing the air near my head. I duck lower on the vehicle, which hampers my steering capability. And then it says wham. Just so you know. So, wham! And then the snowmobile grazes a tree and the thing wipes out. I'm aware of being in midair for a second or two, and then I land hard on the ground. I thank my lucky stars I wasn't thrown into a tree or a rock. The tracking snowmobiles come closer. I manage to pull myself up and limp to the overturned Taiga. I push it upright, get back on, and start her up again. The right front ski is bent, but I think it'll still go. I accelerate and test the steering mechanism. Not bad. If I cheat to the left a bit, I can get the damn thing to go straight. More gunfire. Great. I increase the speed and take off into the darkness just as I hear the spectacular crash behind me. One of the enemy snowmobiles is merged with a tree in a most unpleasant manner. That's good for me, but it's also set the tree aflame. If the fire spreads, it could illuminate the forest and they'll be able to see me better. Gotta lose these guys and fast. I press the implant on my throat. Are you there? Anyone? I ask. We read you, Sam, Lambert says in my ear. You're tracking me? I ask. We've got you by satellite. I'll bet you need directions. Please. I'm afraid you can't go back to the main road, Javakiv. It's swarming with troops. Your best bet is to head for the Dnipro. The river? Come on, it can't be that cold. Your suit will protect you. You want me to swim to safety? Dump the snowmobile. Better yet, crash it. Your pursuers will hopefully think you're dead. I shake my head. Lambert, I'm beginning to feel like an underpaid stuntman. Okay. How far am I from the river? I hear Lambert consult with someone off mic. Probably Carly or Mike Chan. He comes back and says, "You're less than a mile away. Take a 30-degree turn to the left and you'll be heading straight for it." Thanks, I'm out. I make the move, dodge another tree, and try to increase my speed. Now the thing's going about 50, and it's the best I can do. Suddenly, and without warning, a snowmobile bursts out of the brush in front of me. The headlight nearly blinds me, and I have to avert my eyes for a second, steer right, and perform a jump over a fallen log. My Taiga lands awkwardly and spins around. The Russian soldier slows his vehicle and fires a pistol at me. The bullet whizzes over my left shoulder as I duck and skid the Taiga in a half circle to kick up the snow spray. This gives me time to draw the 5.7, point it in this direction, and shoot. 2 rounds miss, but the third hits the soldier in the chest, knocking him off of his vehicle. I holster my gun, turn the Taiga back toward the river, and speed on. I hear the roar of the water up ahead. I put a nice thick tree 50 feet away and push the speed as high as it'll go. At the same time, I position myself by crouching on the seat, ready to leap off at the last second. Closer, closer. And I jump, land in the snow, roll, and wait. The Taiga slams into the tree and bursts into a fireball. The thing is obliterated. I stand and make my way toward the roar. In 3 minutes I find myself at the bank of the Dnipro, a wide snaking river that runs from western Russia through Belarus and down into the Ukraine all the way back to the Black Sea. The spot I happen to pick for entry has no easy grade to climb down. I estimate it's at least a 50 feet drop. So I assume a stance, concentrate, take a deep breath, and jump off the bank. I hit the cold water like a knife, relax, and let my natural buoyancy lift me to the surface. Lambert was right. My suit keeps out the frigid temperature, but the ice water bites at my face. I roll so that I'm on my back, which goes a long way toward keeping my face warm, and drift to a place of safety as a strong current covers and carries my horizontal body downstream. All in a day's work. It said something else cheesy there, but I'm not going to read it because I feel like it ruins the sentence. So we made it to chapter 2, and I think I'm going to stop there for now. But I can read more tomorrow if you guys want. If you guys like this book at all. I feel like it's kind of weird to read because a lot of the sentences are very short and choppy. So when I read it, I feel like it probably comes out very monotone. Because you typically have like a sound that you start a sentence with and a sound that you end a sentence with normally. But when it repeats so frequently, it sort of feels like da 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 da. You know what I mean? It just, I don't know. Kind of like that top tens guy or whatever that did the Burger King foot lettuce thing. The last thing you want in your burger is hold on, never mind. Last thing you want in your Burger King burger is someone's foot fungus. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Something like that. I don't remember exactly what he says. Oh, but anyway, I guess I read for too long and no one's here anymore, so... Rip. Okay, I'm probably gonna head to bed here in a minute. Might play a little bit more Farming Simulator while I wait on my laundry to finish, but aside from that, I don't know. I'll probably keep the stream going for like another 10-15 minutes or so, and then we'll end it. So that was fun. That was chapter 1. Let's drive around and explore this a little bit. I haven't been too far in this. I haven't really done anything with it, to be honest. And this game does seem pretty cool. I don't like that the doors automatically close though, because that kind of takes away from my personal agency a little bit. The car is so hard to control. So awkward feeling. It's too fast for its own good. Yeah, that feels really bad. Cars do not control that way. Welcome back, Nathaniel. So we finished chapter 1. We'll read. We'll read chapter 2 next time, I guess, if you enjoyed it. Did you enjoy it at all? Or is it just kinda meh? Oh, let me drive the cool car. Come on. Fine. I guess it's not Grand Theft Auto. I can't just get in random cars. Fine. Is there a way I can like fix the steering though? How the heck do I do that? Let's turn the camera sensitivity back to just 100. Crystal, what are you doing? Are you being mischievous? So, unless you guys want to chat for a little bit, I'll probably go to bed here in a minute. Nice. Welp. Oops. Did I break the game? Yep. Pretty sure I kinda broke it. Ooh, this I can do. Woohoo! This is the exciting content that you guys subscribe for, isn't it? Am I doing this wrong? I'm probably doing this wrong. I feel like I am. See how funny our farmer lady looks. Oh, that's cool. I like that view a lot better. I wanna ride in a tractor. I wanna go take a ride in one now. So Crystal, did you like that book at all so far? That was, I mean, we finished chapter 1. I thought it was pretty alright. Oh, that's cool. We can watch him do it. That looks mildly dangerous. There we go. Woohoo, farming simulator. Exciting. Guys, I'm tired. Are y'all tired too? They'll never find me in here. Don't ever do this. God, that would be terrifying. Like something out of a weird horror movie or something. Man. That's a big field. You go, dude. Just do your thing. And I'm going to jump in the pool. And the pool in this game is so disappointing. They should have at least animated it. Like, what the heck? How am I supposed to enjoy a pool if there's not even any splashy sounds? Not cool, game. Not cool. I think we should at least shut the garage door. What happens if we try to shut the garage door on ourselves? Does that work? Nope, it does not. Alright. Good to know. What's in here? Yeah, nothing useful, I guess. How does this doohickey work? Oh, never mind. It's an attachment. Ooh, fancy. This game makes me want to go be a farmer. It seems nice. What the heck is this for? It's obviously for dumping something down. Or something like that. But I don't know what. Am I supposed to have animals in here? Ooh, do I have animals? What's this? Interesting. Can we climb the water tower? Not exactly. Looks like you can almost climb it, but they didn't really make it climbable. That's lame. Oh. Alright guys, I'm tired as heck. I think if you guys don't mind, I'm probably gonna go ahead and end it here. So, thank you for watching. We'll properly play some Farming Simulator tomorrow, along with maybe Skyrim or something, or maybe we'll play some God of War. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you guys have fun. Have a great night. Thank you for chilling with me. I hope you enjoyed the book. If you're new, please do subscribe and all that nonsense. And yeah, you're right, Crystal. I really do need some. I do need some rest. You have a good night as well. And same to the rest of you. Oh, sweet dreams, guys. Sweet dreams. Let's get ran over before we go. Oh no, never mind. Well, oh well. I'm pretty sure I'm going the same speed as the car. which is very strange. Anyway. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. Good night, guys. Oh snap, it's working. It's working. No. Okay, anyway. Good night, guys. For real this time. Adios.